the individual awards. So our Archer Award this year goes to a player who was just solid in his performance, also just his attitude. I always try to measure players to a great degree on attitude, effort, and energy, and he had all of those. 8 rebounds a game, 10 points a game, second highest free throw percentage for us at 64%. Just great attitude and a team leader across the board, whether you have a title or not. So our Archer Award goes to Tito Sid. So what do you guys have to join Tito here? Our most improved, again, we had votes, a lot of the coaches will say this, multiple players got votes, but we had to decide on one of them, and so I pulled the players' input along with some of the coaches' input. The next, for most improved, he had a ton of steals. I mentioned one earlier in the game against Valor South. Hustle, fierce competitor, hard worker. He played a vital role all throughout the season, giving us some great starts at the beginning of the season. Then when football came in to join us, he had more of a role off the bench. But most improved goes to Luke Hutchinson. Next award, he led our team in scoring with over about 16 points a game. Hard worker. On defense, he was named to the H-Cal All-Star team, as was Michael, as was Tito. And leading scorer actually for the last 2 years for Founders Classical Academy, and that's Caleb Kelly.
And for JV basketball, this player showed up every day on time and trained like there was no tomorrow. He usually came in fresh off some hot YouTube how-to videos, continuously improving his game IQ and intensely increased his starting role all the way up to set the tone of the game. In addition to improving his defense, he continued to work on off-ball threat. His improvement manifested at a critical time in our game against Hill Country, where he was a bit of a scoring drought, and Hill Country seemed to be on the verge of a game-defining run, and we definitely needed some points. This player recognized the opportunity, used some of his new skills in pump fake, slash to the rim from the deep corner, and confidently dropped in what seemed like an indefensible floater. He scored 2 momentum-defining baskets and set the pace for Hill Country that they couldn't answer. His consistent desire, effort, and results, Landon 3 has earned most improved player. So, MVP, our goal was transitioning from this random 5-player team wearing the same uniform to a more coordinated and intentional play. This person was asked to play a critical role in that team's transition, a role I think he had a lot of prior experience in and requires a lot of physical and emotional maturity to be successful. He put a lot of hard work in, although I don't think we want to give him too much pity or empathy. I do think I saw him smiling quite a bit while he was extending his football techniques on opponents who didn't quite understand that basketball is a contact sport. was able to look past his family heritage and love of the Ohio State University. We would like to have able to mature our level of play without him. For his grit and willingness to step into this role, for his timeless work in the post, I'm awarding Blaze Ferreras. Archer Award, as Coach Kelly noted, it's not lost on any of us. A lot of these players could have won any of these top awards, least of which is the MVP. This year's Archer Award showed up for every practice and game, leading with the Archer spirit, and that spirit helped him to develop as a player, but also as an example of what an effective competitor looks like. He had some of the most effective lockdown defense during our games against Hill Country and the end of season tournament, but he never lost sight that there was a person on the other side of that, feeling the disheartening effects of his lockdown defense with emotional awareness. This player was also quick to apologize for making them sad. He played it competitively while never losing awareness he was competing in a game, and he never let me break huddle without reminding me the proper tradition, 1, 2, 3 Archers. For his relentless focus on the spirit of the game, I'm awarding Clay Kelly Archer Award.
I'll get this. Okay. Coach Bruderbach, can you come up and help with the high school girls basketball awards? One of the downsides of you guys can stay. We're having all the award winners just stand in front of the whole crowd. Thank you. Like I was saying, one of the downsides of being on my team at these things is sometimes when I'm trying to be an MC, I forget to mention my assistant coach, Coach Bruderbaugh. I'm very grateful for his help this season, and here we go. I'm going to have him hand these out. So starting with junior varsity girls basketball, most improved, this is from Coach Edwards, is going to be Selah Martinez. This is Coach Edwards said, I would like to give Selah the most improved award for this season. Selah is a completely different player than she was last season in the best way possible. It is difficult to grow in a sport you're unfamiliar with, but Selah put in the work. In the off season, her athleticism, strength, and skill and IQ all improved from season to season. It was great to see her take on a leadership role for us this season and watching her share her knowledge and experience with the other new players. Selah, take this as a reminder that your hard work pays off. This is well deserved. Archer Award, JV Girls Basketball, Lila Keegan. Lila was the glue to our team. She continuously rooted for her teammates and led by example. I already knew I was a fan of Lila before the season, but getting the chance to coach her confirmed everything. Early in the season, Lila was asking how she can improve her defense and not foul. You'd think she was wanting to get better for herself, but her reason was even better. She said that she wanted to be out on the court with her team and make a difference. Congratulations, Lila. Keep doing it. And the MVP for JV Girls Basketball this year goes to Evangeline Villas. As stated earlier, Evangeline was our most reliable defender and often tasked with shutting down the opposing team's best player. She took on this role with confidence and pride. Evangeline did not get much rest this season, and she never complained of being tired or asked to switch off or grow. As we all know, basketball is a two-way sport, and you can't be successful without scoring. Well, Evangeline had that covered as well. Her defense turned into offense, resulting in many steals to fast break layups. She was one of our leading three-point shooters this season. Evangeline is a well-rounded athlete, and it was an honor to coach her this season. I'm going to handle varsity girls now, and I'll keep this going where I'll tell you who it is first and then talk about you. We are giving our Most Improved Award for Varsity Girls Basketball to Ava Keegan. Ava really loves basketball and is a fantastic athlete. She took great strides this year. She was a captain, led the team in multiple categories. If you want to see some of the fun parts of Ava's athleticism, you can show up to the Powder Puff football game on Friday. She'll be throwing bombs. I always have to dig on Ava because she's got a ton of potential, so I got to keep pushing her. But she's still working on learning that incomplete passes in basketball are not the same as football. It's actually a turnover. But anyway, Ava is well on her way to being a dominant player next year. Our Archer Award for Varsity Girls Basketball, Avery Rundell. Avery was a huge positive influence on the team this year. She's the type of player who just gets what it means to be part of a team, and constant positive impact and enthusiasm and energy, and I really appreciated her contributions this year. She definitely made the season really special. Thank you, Avery. Our MVP this year is going to Elena Sid. So earlier I described Elena as a glue player. Elena is not a flashy basketball player. I am really grateful I convinced her to start taking threes this year, and she did not resist being talked into that, although the Sids traditionally are not a three-point shooting family. I think she has the family record for made threes this year. Anyway, Elena is an amazing defender, an amazing team player. She was our senior captain this year, and I think just the best way to summarize her value is, when you're substituting in basketball, there's a lot of reasons why someone might come onto the court or go off of the court. The only reason Elena ever came off of the court is because I needed someone else to get some playing time. Elena never came off the court because she was in her head, or she was tired, or she didn't know what was going on. And that is a really, really impressive thing to say about someone. So thank you, Elena. Back to you.
All right, starting off with the Archer Award. So this is the first year competing in track for this athlete, and he has had an extremely successful year. He's been very impressive in long jump, triple jump, the 100 meter, 200 meter, and the relays. Not only is he an excellent athlete, but he's also a great example of the virtues his school has. He's also willing to do what the coaches ask him, and he's always willing to give his best efforts. One of my favorite things about him is his love of competition. He would even stay after practice wanting to raise people so that he can get better. It's been a pleasure to be his coach. This year's Archer Award goes to Luke Hummel. For the most improved, this is also my first year getting to coach this young man, and I've been really, really impressed with him and his work effort. I appreciated his willingness to do whatever the coaches asked him to do. He's done an excellent job of working hard in practice and improving his jumps and times. He would also not hesitate to ask coaches what he could do to get better. He would even go to practice on his own to better himself. Due to the work he put in, he was a big reason for this team's success this season. I really look forward to seeing how fast he can get it next season. This year's most improved goes to Clay Kennedy. All right, for the MVP, this is also also the first year I've had the pleasure of coaching this guy, and I'm very glad we got the opportunity to do so. I've been trying for years now to get him to join the track team because I knew that he was an extremely talented runner. I knew that if he joined, he'd be a huge asset to the team, and it turns out I was right. He dominated at every race he ran, and he was always a reliable team player that we could count on. I know that he will accomplish a lot of amazing things on and off the track because of his work ethic and character. This year's MVP goes to Josh Smith. For the ladies. So this is going to be for the Archer Award. I've gotten to coach this young lady now for a couple of years, and every year it's been a pleasure. I can count on her to show up to practice smiling, cheering, and ready to go to work. She's been a wonderful example of what a student athlete should be and represents Founders Classical Academy extremely well. She always gives it her all, both in practice and at the meets. She isn't afraid to push herself to her limits to achieve her goals, even if it means collapsing at exhaustion at the end of the race. This year's Archer Award goes to Catherine Connect.
All right. I just want to acknowledge two of my throwers, my two seniors, and I wish they could have been at more practices and we could have seen more of each other because every time they were out there, I sorely enjoyed having them. Stella Jaquette and Joseph Martin, thank you so much. It was just a pleasure having you guys on the team and coaching you both. Most valuable player, team player. Some call her Mama. Some of the kids call her Mama. She's amazing. She got 38 points this year, 3 silver medals, 2 bronze medals, second regionals with a personal record in the discus, and second in the state. And she's only a sophomore. She's going to be back for 2 more years. And I can't wait. And she's just a joy to have on the team. She'll put herself ahead of anybody on the team. She'll help them get away doing circuit training. She'll help them. When we're out there throwing, she's going to help the other kids. That's a team player. That's what I enjoy. Most valuable player, Cammie Jacklin. And our most improved, who's not here tonight. She took last year off, and she came back as a senior. She did a fantastic job. She scored 55 total points for the team, 5 bronze medals, 3 gold medals. Yeah, I mean, it was great. She qualified 3rd in discus and shot put in the regionals, which qualified her for state. She came in 4th in the state in the shot put. And after this, she's working at Subway right now. I'm going to take her plaque over there as soon as this is over. Don't text her, Stella. She's still here. Don't tell her. Frida DeFries.
Coach Tony announces our football games. I don't know if you've noticed. All right, that's track, right? So we're on to soccer. All right, let's go varsity girls soccer. Coach Whitfield.
All right, most improved player. And I want to just start off and say that most improved doesn't always mean starting at like the lowest skill level and developing to a higher skill level. Sometimes our strongest athletes show great improvement over the season. So I just want to note that. Our most improved player struggled initially just to be on the field the first game. By the end of the season, she had become a powerhouse on the back line. She was legally bulldozing through players and taking the ball away from them and saving us from being scored on time after time. Your growth was incredible to watch, and this award is well deserved. Kinsley Chesley. Most valuable player. Our MVP moves on the field with such ease, flowing seamlessly from position to position. It's clear she has a deep love for the greatest game, and it is genuinely fun to watch her play. Congratulations on MVP, Adele. And finally, the Archer Award. It goes to the player who best embodied our team spirit, tenacity, and love for the game, always aiming high like an archer. Her vibrant spirit was a driving force all season. She was quick to point out the talent in others, but rarely spoke of her own. She exemplifies what it means to live the virtues both on and off the field. Our Archer Award winner is Madison Shelf.
Coach Young. Varsity Boys Soccer, here we go.
Okay, so most improved. It can mean that you started pretty low and then you came up and got a lot better than you were before. All right, so when the season started, I wasn't exactly sure where this player was going to fit. He was green. He kept working hard. He always showed up to every practice. He put in the hours, and he eventually earned my trust. Meaning, I was able to put him first in the midfield and then on the back line. You gotta have people that are on the back line who are really good with their feet and they don't make mistakes because that costs goals. Anyway, there was a moment where I knew he turned a corner. He had the ball by himself on the touchline, like 30 yards up from the box, from our box, and he had like two players closing in on him. The smart play, or not the smart play, the play that most players, if they're inexperienced, will do is try to push forward and kick it forward into the other players or try to dribble through, right? He did the smart play. He turned around and passed it back to keeper. That's a very hard, it sounds simple, it really does, but that's a hard thing to teach. People want to go forward, not back. So I knew at that moment that wow, he's really improved as a player. He was already showing other things, but that was like the key moment that I was like, okay, this guy's probably the most improved. Elijah Gardner. Archer Award. Obviously, this is the Virtue and Character Award. We, everybody says this, and it's actually true of our team. A lot of players could have won this. These are all great guys. I love working with them. But if you ask this player to play striker, he was there. If you asked him to play wing, he was there. If you asked him to put on the gloves and play keeper, he did that too. In fact, there was one game against Nios where he played. So Gideon wanted to play in the field, so we switched. So Gideon could get some field time. He's our main keeper. And this player played a great half the ball in the box. I mean, I was reviewing the film yesterday, and I was like, wow, he's our backup keeper for next year for sure. Nash Story, the archer. MVP. I think everybody knows this one was easy. I think everybody knows who it is. This player was the heart of the team from the first match to the last. He had a team high 9 goals and 3 assists across all games. He was definitely our most dangerous player every time he stepped on the pitch. It wasn't just about scoring or assisting, but he was the player that helped control the middle. He created opportunities. He set up the successful attacks, even if he didn't assist or even score. He didn't wait for things to happen. He made them happen. He was out there conducting the team. Everybody looked up to him, I think, especially the younger players. So this player's leadership is the kind of thing that other players respond to. He's clear, demanding, but fair, consistent, not overbearing. He set the tone every day. And as a senior on the young team, he was the standard again that everyone measured themselves against, I think. Grant Prane, MVP.
Do you guys want to scoot down and be in the center so we can get a group photo here? We'll just, yeah, that should be enough, right? That's a lot of award winners here. All right, smile for the camera. Not at me, I don't want you to be. All right, we got it. Thanks, guys and gals. All right.